She fell in love with him at first sight. He was a DJ at a bar, and she was a beautiful and capable office worker at an international company. He stood near the dance floor, his music flashing like neon lights. His gaze was cold when he looked at the stage but passionate when he focused on the cassette tapes in his hands. Occasionally, he would close his eyes, exuding an air of effortless cool. She came to see him every day, immersing herself in the music he mixed with his heart, ears, and fingers, surrendering to the rhythms, whether fast or slow. She stopped keeping her distance. She brought him flowers, left him notes, waited for him after work, and stood by his motorbike. He never even glanced at her, believing she wasn't good enough. She pursued a master's degree while working full-time and started investing in stocks with friends after hours. Driven by love, she became what one might call a self-made heiress. He accepted her invitations on occasion, sitting at the bar with a beer in hand, listening to her struggles, offering a faint smile and a few words of encouragement. He always had a girlfriend, but not the usual kind, and he never showed any interest in her. 5 years passed. Because of him, she started buying CDs in bulk. Whenever she traveled abroad for work, she would bring back as many as she could and gift them to him. She even took up dancing and yoga. One day, she discovered a song and gave it to him. The title was "Secret Love Is Not a Crime." Trying to hold you with all my strength. Have you ever loved me in a dream? After 5 o'clock, the world will change colors, and we could be lovers. Fantasy and desire walk hand in hand, and the greatest love and deepest hatred are 2 lives intertwined. I believe you are my love. How can you think that secret love is a crime? That night, when he played the song, she stood across from him and wept. Her silent tears felt like a tidal wave, drowning out the noise and vanity of the dance hall. She thought he would be moved when he saw her sorrow, but his gaze was colder than ever, tinged with something close to disgust. From that day on, he no longer accepted her invitations or gifts. Before, he would take rare CDs from her and pay her back, but after that, he refused even the carefully curated collections she brought. She sought out his friends, everyone except his girlfriend. Even they were moved by her devotion. Looking at her from every angle, they found no fault. If anything, she was remarkable. How rare it was for someone to love so deeply. So why was he so stubborn in rejecting her? Finally, one day, she sold all her stocks and savings to buy him an exceptional sound system. Setting up a fully equipped studio in her home, she invited him over. He lowered his head, silent for a long time before saying, "Do me a favor." Her voice trembled with excitement. "Anything, just tell me." He lifted his chin, pointed at the traffic outside, and said, "Pick any car, just disappear from my sight." Before she could process his words, he hailed a taxi and prepared to leave. She threw herself in front of the car like a madwoman, sobbing uncontrollably. At that moment, she felt that even if the car ran her over, she wouldn't let him go. In the end, she collapsed to the ground, only to be dragged aside by a passerby. He left without a single glance back. Her pride was shattered into dust, mixed with the dirt beneath her feet. Later, she fell gravely ill and attempted suicide twice. At times, she thought she wouldn't survive. His friends blamed him for his cruelty, his indifference, his shocking lack of empathy. Yet, he never came to apologize. Even those who thought he had a right to his feelings admitted his approach was heartless. As a man, shouldn't he have been gentler, kinder to a woman who was willing to live and die for him? In the end, he moved to another city. No words, no gestures, not even a single look back. She suffered, carrying the weight of unrequited love. Over time, she transformed from a fragile girl in love into a woman of unyielding strength. She gained power, the kind that causes pain, disruption, and madness, that interferes, disturbs, and leaves a lasting impact. Yet, She never imagined that the man who refused to love her was, in his own way, the most innocent of all. His unwavering resistance was, in fact, something to be respected and admired. Most people believe that money, power, and material wealth can buy bodies but not love. Yet, many fall into another illusion, that sacrificing dignity can earn love. That devotion will be reciprocated. That loving deeply means being loved in return. Wrong. Giving and receiving are two separate things. Love and being loved are never cause and effect, nor reasons for one another. Love, or the lack of it, is simply fate. Secret love is not a crime. But is not loving someone a crime?